places.
Okay, so we are talking about plastic surgeries and cosmetology things that has to do with the skin. Doc, now one thing happening in Ghana, most people want to have light skin. Light skin. Back then, people were bleaching with soaps, but now, Doc, we are hearing so many things. I heard there is a tablet, a pill, there is some injections. Is it true? Like, is it true?
Oh yeah, there are bleaches, some chemicals that clear off this black color, which is very precious. I know that the black skin is very precious, very very important, because it's looking at our climatic condition. If you are you have the melanin, it prevents this harmful ultraviolet rays.
So what is the melanin, if you want to break it down for us?
That is the black, the black component, the pigment that gives the black color.
Okay.
That makes it as different from the white people. We have the melanin in the skin much more.
Okay.
But they also have some in the hair. That's why the hair is black. So God shared it equally. But looking at where we are, the sunlight, the rays, the harmful rays, we should be able to understand that if you are black, maintain your skin.
Bleaching is not good medically.
It's not good.
How does it affect the human body?
Okay, number one, it depends on the type of chemical. You said some take pills, maybe some vitamins and supplements. That one is good. But if it's a chemical,
vitamins and supplements are okay.
Yes, those are good.
Okay.
Yes, those are natural stuffs that keeps you, maybe bring your body color very nice.
Okay.
That's okay. But if maybe you apply a chemical on your skin which contains some harmful, chemicals that invade into the layers of the skin, especially into the dermis, that is the inner layer of the skin, they start destroying your skin layer. And now the cells begin to grow in their own fashion. And when cells begin to grow in their own fashion, and it's uncontrolled by the stimuli, and it still grow in excessive manner, that it becomes a tumor or a mass there. So that is why we refer to as skin cancer.
Okay.
So you provoke it with a chemical, and once you provoke your skin with a chemical and it starts growing in its own way, it becomes a mass, and that mass can become a cancer, a tumor. And those are complications.
Wow.
Yeah.
We shouldn't entertain that.
Bleaching, if the chemical is not good, you must go to your doctor or cosmetologist to advise you.
I saw a video on social media, and there's a lady selling some black soaps, and you see the ladies using on the skin as skin whitening. This is serious, and some of these things don't even go through FDA for them to even approve, and we still have some of this. Okay, so doctor, away from that, we have other things to talk about with you.
Sure.
But then I have one challenge.
Okay.
With doctors.
All right.
Sometimes the patient I brought to the hospital is going to die, but still you keep writing go and buy this, because do you sometimes know that this patient is not going to make it? Do you sometimes know, as a doctor?
We have protocols to know when a patient is going to die. We have protocols.
So sometimes
doctor must know when a patient is going to die.
Let's say in the next 2 weeks, you know.
You may not know that the next 2 weeks, but the vitals, we call it vital signs. Those signs, at any time checked, we are able to know the patient's status.
Okay.
Those are the important ones: the blood pressure, the pulse, the oxygen saturation, see, the temperature.
So sometimes that this patient will not make it.
So that one, we can tell the patient relatives. We don't need to hide it.
Do you do that most often here in Ghana?
Yes, doctors talk about this a lot too.
Because people have complained that sometimes doctors, and you were writing these expensive medications for us to go and buy.
I don't think doctors will do that. This one I will defend them.
Dr. Henry, so for instance, if you are taking care of a patient and from what I'm seeing, what the vitals and everything, I think this patient will not make it. Doctor, would you tell the family members? Is it advisable?
You have to take your time and then discuss with your team. Doctors, we work with team. So look at it. Go call other doctors, your team, come and assess. If you all see that this patient is going to expire or pop, that's the term they use in Ghana, pop.
Yeah.
So you have to now look at it and then find a means to share with the relatives and make them understand. This patient has these 3 conditions: renal failure, liver condition, heart failure. These are all not functioning well. Vital organs are not functioning, and it's secondary to a condition which is not treatable.
So you just go straight and tell them?
Not straightforward. You have to discuss with your team.
Okay.
Find a way. Even sometimes you see how you explain it. As I'm explaining it, you understand that this patient will die, right? This patient, the kidney is not functioning well. The kidney is impaired, right? Renal failure. Number 2, the liver is also, not functioning well. Liver is failing. The heart is not functioning well. Heart failure. Patient has all signs all over, and then patient is dependent on oxygen. You tell relatives this. This is not an indirect information you are giving. So we're going to do our best to make sure the patient come back.
So go and buy this medication. That is where we have the problem, though.
No doctor would like to see a patient dead.
Wow.
It's the most painful. I don't know how people see, but when I see it, it's different.
Like doctors, you don't want to see your patient die.
No doctor wants to see death. If you see them walking like that when the patient is dead, when you get to their their room, when they meet, you will see how painful it is. They be hitting the ground and like that.
Really?
It's like it's highly bond. Like we are bonded to save life, and when someone pass on, it's not something we're supposed to be happy. No doctor, not even your enemy's death should be happy for you.
Doc, I took someone to the hospital. From what I see, the person was in a critical condition. We got to the hospital. I was expecting the nurses and the doctors to be running, and doc, the nurses took the vitals. The doctor came, watched the patient. I'm like, doc, please do something. Like sometimes it seems you people don't care. Is that the case?
I don't know how to explain this, but what I think is, I have seen the emergencies in Ghana, our country, our beloved country.
Yeah.
And it's not almost all, but almost all the emergency, areas are not good. Almost all of them. Yeah. We have a protocol, ABC.
Okay.
And now we have added D to it.
Okay.
So that is airway, and then breathing, circulation, and the D has come from the white people, the defibrillation. In a matter where even the heart is not pumping, we have a defibrillator, any machine to kick and bring the person back with activating the pacemaker cells, and then action potential for the heart to pump back. If you go and inspect almost all the emergencies in Ghana, it's not like doctors don't care. Maybe your politicians don't care. That is the truth. Because doctors want this equipment there. If it's not there, if a doctor is walking like that, it means he doesn't have the tools. it's more joyful to save life. You have more points.
Sometimes the way we see our patients we bring to the hospital, it seems you don't. How we want you people. I don't know if sometimes you are able to determine and detect when you see the patient. You know, this one is no case. This one will solve it right. Sometimes does it happen to you?
Most of the cases I've seen, for me, I see and watch. If I need to call for help, I call. But you must know. You must. It's must.
When you see the patient,
you must know.
Okay.
You must know that this patient, you have to do this and that and that. You definitely check the vitals I talk about.
Yeah.
These 4 vitals: the temperature, pulse, blood pressure, then the oxygen saturation. You definitely know the status of the patient, and then know where to place the patient. You get it?
Yeah, I get you.
So you must know.
Okay. As
a doctor, you must know. So if you see the person is not trying to do anything, then really he doesn't have the tools or maybe the skills, and maybe he's not a doctor.
Wow. So, do we harvest organs here in Ghana?
Harvest?
Yeah.
Everyone wants to bury the corpse. If a relative dies, you want to bury them. Most Ghanaians have never. No one has ever said that I'm giving my body to the medical schools to learn, isn't it?
Yeah.
And people are not willing to donate. So
we don't do that here in Ghana.
If anything, maybe Kwalibu or
Okay, so in case someone wants to do that, it's possible.
Yes, it's possible.
Okay.
We are linked, even if it's beyond the scope of the country. We still have a link to affiliated hospitals outside the country.
Okay, doctor, this brings us to my next topic I want to discuss with you. And it's been a big challenge for us here in Ghana. Not just Ghana, Africa. Personally, myself, I keep getting calls from people. I have kidney failure. Can you interview me so that we solicit for funds? Doctor, please, today, I want you to break this down. What causes kidney failure?
Wow, that's an interesting topic.
Yeah, later on in the program, my interview, I'm going to have one patient joining me here.
Okay.
What causes kidney failure?
Okay, there are factors. Usually, we have had series of cases as you're talking about, and some patients are even on dialysis, and these are all supposed to be it can be prevented.
Okay.
I'm seeing that Ghana, the food we eat is number one.
The food
yeah.
Our local food.
Our local food. I'm not saying it's not good, but then how we eat it, the time we take the food.
Here in Ghana, we know our bankun, the kenke, the fufu.
Yes.
The time we eat.
Yeah, there's too much starch in this food, and the starch is going to really create more problems for you. In the starch, in the blood, starch turns into glucose. When there is too much glucose in the blood, we call it hyperglycemia.
Okay.
That is more sugar in the blood.
Okay.
And this sugar, when there is excessive sugar in the blood, we are not diagnosing diabetes here, but we are looking at the complication of too much sugar in the blood.
Okay.
Some part of the sugar will turn into fat to be stored. So you already have a lot of fat, which may be occluding your vessels. Fat occluding your vessels will also affect the way at which your heart pumps, and it's going to distract your BP. Now, when your BP is impaired, the pressure on your heart and the pressure on your kidney imbalances. The main function of the kidney is to filter blood
from your system.
Yes.
Okay.
So when the kidney is impaired, it's not able to filter your blood. You get it?
Okay.
Then renal failure.
So you mentioned, now you've mentioned one of the causes is high blood pressure.
Exactly.
We'll come and talk about high blood pressure. So the next one, what can cause my kidney to fail?
Diabetes.
Diabetes.
Yes.
can cause your...
So these are two friends.
They move hand in hand.
Hand in hand. If you have diabetes and you don't take good care of yourself, you may have high blood pressure.
If you have high blood pressure and you don't take care of yourself,
you may have renal failure.
Okay.
You get it. So these are all the two conditions. And the food we are consuming in the country, our best food is starch, which is very heavy. And this food, excessively turns into fat. I'm giving you the little, explanation. So when the glucose turns into a chemical in the mediator called acetyl-CoA, it's the main mediator for synthesis of cholesterol. You have more cholesterol in your blood, your pressure increases. So normally when you come to the hospital, when we see that the blood pressure, the downward, the diastolic is high, we keep advising you, go and check your lipids or cholesterol level.
Okay.
So we are really harnessing a lot, increasing a lot of cholesterol in our blood.
Doc, you've mentioned our local foods. Don't you think some of these continental dishes are also contributing to kidney failures here in Ghana?
Okay, so what I've seen now is the chemicals we use to increase the harvesting of the vegetables. The chemicals
from the farms.
So those chemicals, the way of farming in the country, using the chemicals, not natural ones. Most advanced countries are going with the natural ones. So why are we still buying chemicals? These chemicals come in there and destroy your kidney.
Spices.
Yes.
Does it affect our kidneys?
Spicy foods, one way or the other, will also have effects, but it depends on what you blend your spicy food with. If it's with vegetables, excretion will be high.
Doc, let's have a meal plan right now. Doc, at what point or what time in the day am I supposed to eat that heavy, like my fufu, my banku, at what point?
Yeah, preferably around the lunchtime is best.
For fufu?
Yes, lunchtime is best. Lunchtime, you take this food, and then even if it's evening, it has to be small, but lunch, you have more time for this food too. Because the time you are going to sleep, you are not going to be active. So there will be digestion taking place.
Okay.
And more of these things will be happening. But if you should ask me best time to eat heavy meals, I would say in the afternoon. If not, maximum 5 p.m. You should not, after 5 p.m. you should not eat this type of food.
After 5 p.m. No more banku, the kenke, and after 5 p.m.
If only we can avoid. Yes, it will help. But we have some other starchy foods like rice, millet. Those are all low key.
So in place of the banku I want to do in the evening, I can do rice.
Yes, rice is okay.
Okay.
With a brown wine, you have different types of rice, different, carbohydrates which are low in glucose.
Okay.
Yeah, so those are good.
Okay, so we need to eat more fiber too as well.
Great. What will fiber do for you? It will help increase digestion and then elimination of the food content in your gut.
Okay.
So when you eat, whatever you put in must come out, isn't it?
Yeah.
So when you eat the heavy meal and with fibers, the absorption of the nutrients into your blood and the rest comes out. The fiber foods help soften the stool, and then you're able to have a very good, digestive system.
Some people sometimes when they listen to you doctors talking, they are saying you are scaring us. Our forefathers have been eating fufu at 8 p.m. Nothing happened. Doctors are now scaring us. Doctor, are you not scaring us?
We have exaggerated the whole system. Our forefathers, they also did like the herbs. They really used herbs a lot, and they were on point.
Okay.
They were on point, because I also remember my grandfather was more of a hunter. He comes with a lot of herbs. And we were enjoying. He lived more than 120 years.
Wow.
Yes. So they like green. Kwansuswa, contemporary, and all those stuff. Where are they now? Are we eating them well? And even if you are taking them, is it the right one? Are we taking the right contemporary or the chemical one?
And again, so now it has to. You mentioned high blood pressure, your diabetes. If you have more glucose in the
and then sedentary lifestyle.
What is that?
Sedentary lifestyle is a lifestyle where you always live at one point. You don't move. You don't do exercise. But even after taking all this,
can it cause your kidneys to fail?
Yes.
You don't move, like
yes.
No exercise.
No exercise. So because if you do exercise, you are activating the two systems which are equal and opposite.
Okay.
I think in high school we all learned about sympathetic and parasympathetic system. So you do exercise, it's fight and flight. You sweat, okay, and you come back, rest and digest. This system act equal and opposite. So at least exercise will help you to be able to get better or live longer. But if you live a sedentary lifestyle, your food you eat is still accumulated. You don't burn calories. You get it. So that is the main cause. Because you're able to go to the gym, use the treadmill. After consuming your high fufu, you wait for digestion. You go up there and then break down the calories. You're strong.
Okay, Doc, can excessive drinking and smoking affect our kidneys?
Perfect. I was going there.
Okay.
So the alcohol is number one.
People will ask, alcohol, so how many % should we consume?
Okay. The alcohol percentage depends on how immune your body is. And most times, it depends on whether you are an acute alcoholic or chronic.
Okay.
When you say acute alcoholic, you are just coming in to join the group of alcoholic people. Your liver doesn't have enough enzymes to digest more of the dose or the milligrams of the alcohol. But then someone has been drinking for over 20 years. He has more enzymes. So this person will be able to, even taking more, still have enzymes to break it down.
Okay.
And then even changing it into energy. But the other one who is an acute, taking more, can have an acute renal failure.
Wow.
Yes.
So you cannot tell us, okay, make sure you are taking alcohol 3%, 2%. Just that.
So alcohol,
is it good for the body?
Alcohol is good for the body. It's good for the body. Alcohol is good for the body.
So we should be drinking alcohol.
Oh, I'm not saying you should be. By you taking your red wine, it's also increasing your heart activity. Red wine isn't bad.
Okay.
We have even the beer, but taking too much of this, everything, overdose, you give a lot of work to your liver. So most alcoholic patients die of liver failure. So because the liver is now trying to release more enzymes to break down, to excrete these toxic chemicals out. And if you are not able to, it's not able to do it work well, the kidney will rather also fail to eliminate. Liver breaks into water soluble.
Okay.
Kidney eliminates the water soluble material. So liver cannot break well, then kidney cannot eliminate. So the kidney is failing to eliminate those excessive stuff from your body. So alcohol
and smoking can affect
smoking you. Is also another part.
I have heard people saying, I've been drinking, still I don't have kidney failure. You people, you are scaring us.
That is a good question. These are also family related diseases.
Okay.
If your family have such conditions, then you have to watch out. In your family there is diabetes, there is hypertension, your father died of renal failure, your father died of diabetes, your mother died of hypertension. Complication of hypertension is stroke, right?
Yes.
So if you see your mother dying so early and then it's due to stroke, it means they didn't monitor the BP. So definitely you have to watch out, because if your family is involved, then you have to understand that genetic is one of the most important, transmission.
It means that each and everyone is supposed to know that kind of family history.
Family history of alcohol. Okay. Family history of chronic diseases.
Okay. It's a must. We need to know.
It's a must. And also, to be able to control this renal failure in Ghana, what I observe is, you tell someone, your BP is high. Go and check it. Do it 1 week, morning and evening. Doctor, I don't have blood pressure. You understand? I don't have blood pressure. So you don't have blood pressure, but go and check it.
It means that if you don't have, and you go to the hospital the first time and doctors advise that, hey, go and check, you need to do. People have raised concerns that most of these BP medications affect their performance in bed.
Yeah, so clever. But then if you're avoiding, let me give you these two scenarios: death, okay, and impotence. Which of them will you choose? If they give you death and
I don't want to die.
Okay. Do you choose one, or you guess?
No, I'll choose one. I want to live.
So that you can find medication to control your
But is that the case?
All
BP medication affects your
almost all, but not all. Okay. So it's true. But if your BP is too high, that's when we're giving you so many medication.
Okay.
But in most cases in Ghana, the BP is not high. But then they don't listen to advices. So progression of, the lifestyle modification, all these factors that I'm talking about contribute to the renal failure.
Doc, how will I know I have a kidney failure or my kidneys are not functioning well?
For you as a patient, you may feel some pains, dull pains at the flank area consistently, and usually you're not able to urinate well. Okay. Your body is not, you're unable to excrete certain important chemicals that's supposed to come out. One of them is called creatinine.
Okay.
And other one is urea. We look more at the creatinine. So this creatinine, when it's left in your body, that's what's going to destroy your kidney. So normally you go and we have a test called renal function test.
But before then, what are some of the signs?
So the signs what I'm talking about, you fail to urinate well. You may have some periorbital swelling, like swelling around your eye, your foot. You're seeing these signs, you have to report to your doctor on time, because the urination, sometimes pain in urination, you have difficulty in urination, and some headaches come because of the storage of this waste products. You get what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
So this waste product must come out, but they are stored in your body, and that can really. So you as a patient, you go and report. And when you check your blood pressure and it's too high, you have to go and
Do we have to get a blood pressure monitor at home? Should every home have a blood pressure? Looking at the current situations we have around kidneys, do you think?
Yeah. A People Medical Center trying to have about 1 million BP apparatus, because it's difficult for Ghanaians to understand that BP apparatus is much more important than buying the bottles of beer. You can save money and buy BP apparatus and then save your life. The only reason why a lot of people are dying of renal failure in Ghana is because of hypertension. Because normally they don't accept it, denial. Number two, they don't want to even check it. So if they have it at every joint, every 1 kilometer there is a joint to check BP and advice, do you think people will have renal failure?
Because when you go to walk to some of these pharmacies we have here, they have it, and some are taking 1 CD, 2 CD to check. So people have issues. Hey, I should pay 2 CD to check my BP once and go. So people don't want to go into that.
Yeah, it's not even business. They are saving lives, because 1 CD, What about going for dialysis where you pay 900 Ghana cedis a week?
Doc, can kidneys be treated? If you have a kidney failure, can you be treated?
Yes and no. It depends on the severity and the stage at which it is.
Is there any stages in when it comes to kidney failure? Do we have stages that when it gets to this one, something can be done? Is this?
We have a parameter called EGFR. That's the glomerular filtration rate, the amount of urine that your kidney produce in 1 minute. That's 120 ml per minute.
Okay.
So we look at this with the creatinine and urea and other parameters. So you go and do renal function test, and they said they give you a value less than 70. You have started. So now doctor will advise you find the cause of it and tell you. Well,
okay, so less than 70.
Yes, and then when it's coming lower, I have even seen someone which is less than 7.
Hey.
So that person is on dialysis. Because the creatinine is accumulation of creatinine is definitely going to destroy the kidney.
Wow.
But when you say it could be treated, I can say yes. Why? We can do renal transplant. When we transplant, we do transplantation.
Okay.
Of course.
That is expensive.
So we have to avoid all this, unnecessary cost and death.
Wow. Doc, is it possible someone can be on dialysis and the kidneys can start working normal again? Is it possible?
Only few. I always say it's a miracle, but miracles happen, isn't it?
Yeah.
But only few. Because you have already started. And the thing is, it may be like the doctor is doing it for a short period of time and then monitor. But most of these cases we are seeing in Ghana is, lifetime dialysis. Most of them, because the kidney is failing.
Doc, is it true that when you start dialysis, you will not be able to urinate again?
I have seen a patient on dialysis and is urinating. I was surprised.
Wow.
Yes. So it depends on the doctor diagnosing and recommending the dialysis. I hope you understand me.
Yeah.
So you see, we think the patient is not able to urinate the creatinine out.
Yeah.
So we whenever we check the renal function, we take the blood and check there is more creatinine. Some is 80, 77. We are looking at creatinine ranging from 50 to 120, 130. But someone at 877, this person, we think the creatinine is accumulating and it will destroy the kidney. Patient may die. So that is why they call for dialysis. So you may not be able to go back.
So soon as you start, urine goes off.
People urinate.
Okay.
But not much. They are not able to urinate out the creatinine. Okay. But some other people too cannot at all. So we have to always take it.
Doc, I've seen adverts on TV. Some herbal doctors, if you have kidney failure, come, we will do. If you have kidney, is it possible?
There should be a proof. Ghana needs a lot of education. Since I came to the country, I'm sure I'm here because I want to be part of the team to be educating them. Okay. If you go to a herbal doctor, it's good because we have Bachelor of Herbal Medicine in our country.
Yeah.
We started with herbs.
Yeah, KNUST has a program.
Yes, and even one at Mampong. It's good. But they have to define, they have to explain to you. You must be convinced. Don't just take the medication and drink because you went to a Western medicine hospital and it's expensive. You want a shortcut. But if you don't, the drug is not even approved by FDA. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Food and Drug Administration controls this. So if it's not approved, why will you go for it? So herbal medicines, I think Ghana has also been an issue because controlling them and regulating them has become the main issue. You go to some uncle in a village and take those concoctions. We don't know about it, isn't it? We don't know. So the herbal medicine, we are not condemning it.
Kidney failures cannot be cured.
Transplant.
I met a man who was on dialysis, and he was like, oh, someone has given me a medication and it is working. It's working for people, so I'm also going to buy. I'm told when you take it, very soon you'll be off dialysis. Can it be true?
Expensive medications. Expensive. And
does it work?
I won't destroy the market. I don't want to answer this one. But I can advise everyone, when you have renal failure, you have to see the kidney specialist.
There is a specialist.
There's a specialist for kidney.
Okay.
And we have the urologist and the nephrologist.
Okay.
Medicine and surgery. Both parts are there. See these people and let them really help you. Because doctors, we all have our specialty. Even if you don't have your specialty, you are good at one point. That is why we believe in teamwork.
Okay.
So when you see a case which is not your case, don't deal with it. So those people are the right people to judge. Sometimes too, they also follow the book too much, and people bypass them and do miracle to the patients. So that's why some people also will go for medication. Some medications work on the kidney. One point about kidney failure: when your kidney is failing, what kills you, what makes you die, is severe anemia.
Okay. You lose blood.
You will die of anemia. You will not lose blood.
Okay.
But the kidney is the organ that produces a hormone called erythropoietin. Erythropoietin stimulates the bone marrow to produce the blood cells, the red blood cells. So when the kidney is destroyed or impaired, your body may not be able to produce blood. So that is it. Now your heart begins to fail. You understand now, vital organs are deficit of blood circulation. And that is why you die.
Some have said during dialysis, sometimes they are asked to get blood. They need to do blood transfusion. Do you lose blood through dialysis?
So it's not the dialysis that is making you losing blood. It's the failure of the kidney. Like I said, the hormone called erythropoietin is produced by the kidney, and that erythropoietin stimulates the bone marrow. You know, we all know that red blood cells are produced by the bone marrow, or the blood cells are produced by the bone marrow. So the hormone is that hormone from the kidney acts on organs to produce blood. The kidney fails, so the hormone is no more there to help the production of the RBC.
Okay.
So that makes you anemic, isn't it? Yeah. So it's not a dialysis. It means your kidney is failing. So to be able to really diagnose that someone has a kidney failure, do the full blood count and find the amount of blood. It's important because they are related. If you check yours and it doesn't match, there is a question. So you don't rush into dialysis. Okay. If you don't have any complications, you are not seeing anything.
Doc, in case someone has kidney failure and the person wants to do transplant, do we have that professionals here in Ghana to do? Do we have that kind of facility here in Ghana?
Your country will need to work hard on health. Based on what I've seen outside, they need to work hard on health. I think I see it to be a hobby in the developed countries of going to be a doctor. But in Ghana, it's like going to be a doctor is like you are going to be God. They have opened a lot of foreign medical schools for everyone to attempt to be a doctor, so that we can have more doctors to save lives. You get it? But unfortunately for our country, we don't have that here. Even the specialties you are talking about, big hospitals like Kolebu, rich. they must have all and advance into PhD level, which might be very easy. So now, if we still can talk about the number of people who are plastic surgeons, we can count them. I mean, cardiologists, we can count them. Some of the important areas which needs to be focused are not well focused in the country.
Wow.
So maybe one day the youth must also talk to this men to do work for us, because we are failing as a group, because some minor operations which are done outside by a small boy.
by a small boy.
A small boy, yes, because my classmates, some of them were 25, 26, and they were plastic surgeons. So what is plastic surgery in outside? You understand what I mean? Yeah. But here you must have gray hair, you must be walking with your waist like that. You see, we have to open up. It's not, the more we do this, we kill people. Important people we need die in the country. It's painful, isn't it?
Yeah.
So they have to expand the specialty, because renal transplant shouldn't be an issue here. They have millions of doctors in India. So why don't we have thousands in Ghana? But maybe 2 or 3.
Because it's expensive to even pursue, go to school. It's not easy, dog. The amount of money you'll be charged, not everyone can afford that amount of money. So I think that could be a factor.
Because of the political instability is number one. Creating a school, a medical school, and decreasing the amount of fees is not an issue.
It's not.
It means you are going to have the human resources. The human resources is what is going to generate money for you.
Yeah.
Imagine Ghana, you produce 2 million of doctors to go, some of them will go outside on contract to make money for you. Won't you make money?
We'll make a lot of money.
And if you're able to save lives, won't they pay us?
Yeah, they will.
The hospitals you go, you pay, isn't it?
Sure.
So the money go where? The money goes to the government.
Yeah, it comes back to us.
And come back to us. So we have to just increase the number of medical schools, open the way for people, encourage them. And even the few doctors we have, some of them don't even have the chance to even work.
So if you are not operating your own facility, then it's a problem.
Apart from that, some even don't have the chance to even. I've seen a lot of doctors working, and now they are not even into the medical profession anymore. Frustration is number one. So
surgery, transplant has to be done outside.
Some of them.
Yeah, I think recently Ghana did. I think our first transplant.
We have big men there. We have big men there. If they open up to them, if the politicians open up to these good doctors, they will train the young doctors to become perfect. You get it?
Okay.
But they are not creating the room for them. It's not the fault of the doctors. The doctors are waiting. Every doctor is not selfish.
Okay.
You want to train your younger one so that when you are not there, or when you are lying down and you are dying, they will come and save your life. You get what I mean? That is the routine. If you are not in the country, who will save your mom? But they have not created that way. Few doctors. So transplant, people going out for transplant has also been another way, another key. Some of them die on the way.
Yeah.
And racism. Some of them go to Europe, countries like India, and they see you, they have not, some of them are not familiarized with the black skin. And they have been asking, why is your skin black? You remember? So they even feel reluctant to touch you. And you know, one part of it, they even think you are coming from a poor country. But we are the richest. We are very rich.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We
but
are.
they don't know. When you come there, they say yeah. So you understand that part of it. So I mean, in future, we should all promote. I mean,
okay. Is it true after dialysis? After your transplant, after your kidney transplant,
organ rejection.
Yes, yes. Is it true your body can reject the organ?
Yes. So that is what called organ rejection. Rejection is one of the complications after transplant. So we transplant with some immunomodulators.
Okay.
Some drugs that help to prevent rejection.
What causes that rejection?
It's your body producing antibodies against your body.
Does your body recognize a foreign thing be in your body?
A foreign organ coming is an antigen.
Okay.
And your body producing antibodies against it. This is what is called hypersensitivity reaction.
Okay.
And the reaction that comes out is what causes rejection. So that is very, very, fatal.
100%. Let's, on a scale of 100%, for instance, if we should do a transplant for, let's say, about 20 people, how many do you think can survive, and for how long?
99.9% must survive.
Oh, really?
Yes.
And how long can you survive on someone's organ?
It depends on your immunity.
Can you live for 30 extra years?
You can live for long. Like I said, it
how long?
How your body accepts the organ and then starts patronizing with the whole system is number one. So some people do transplant and die after 1 year. Some also live long. Okay. Because they have some medications also, that prevents this complications after transplant.
Okay. After transplant, do I still have to go through dialysis again?
No.
Am I going to put on medication?
Yes. Some medications to prevent rejection.
Doc, why is dialysis expensive? Politics.
Yes.
Where from politics? We are talking about health, Doc.
How many engineers have you produced from the universities in Ghana? And how many of them are producing machines here? Have you made a car?
Apostle Safo is helping us.
Government is not promoting engineering. We have to always go out and buy machines. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So these machines are machines people are doing it, experimenting in high schools and universities. And we are here buying it expensively. If you promote engineering, what will be your problem? So that is the issue. We are not even recognizing what we are doing. We go to the university, do some course, Bachelor of Science in this, Bachelor of Science in this, and we don't do any practical. In the Western or the developed world, after your university or your polytechnic or whatever, we move directly into a company and start producing those things. So we don't do this. We can't even do a simple computer. I think it's on GTI, right?
Yeah.
One company I've even worked with. I think I was surprised that made in Ghana computer. So we have to work on engineering. If you do that,
cost of dialysis will come down.
We produce these machines here. It's not a machine. So even now we have seen that the renal failure is becoming rampant. Why don't you do all the necessary things to prevent, and also have more machines in some clinics or hospitals at various areas? Reduce the price. Reduction of price. It's the same as the CD dollar.
What's the cost of importing the machine?
The duty. He wants to make it, and because if you import a machine in Ghana, it's very expensive. So you want to take, the investors want to take their money back. Yeah. So they will decide the cost for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
If not, then you don't get a machine in your hospital because you can't afford.
Wow. It means there is a lot to do, because now I've seen private facilities importing and operating dialysis centers here because there is a lot of pressure at Kolebu. So more private dialysis centers are coming up here in Ghana, and it's very alarming. When I begin to panic. Like, is the situation that worse for kidney? Doc, who can be a donor? Who can donate kidney? If someone has a kidney failure, who can be a donor?
So that's when your kidney match with the other person. The the receiver must have the same, gene that will match with the donor. So we have to always check the blood. We have some more key genes to
Can
check.
a friend donate to another friend?
Normally, families, it really works on families because of genes, like I said.
Can a wife donate to the husband?
Still depends on the genes. But you see, if it's a family.
Okay, so mother, child is possible.
Those ones are more like have some more genetic similarities.
Okay.
So if especially even they have same blood group and all, you'll be able to donate. There are so many factors to do that.
Okay.
To be able to choose a donor.
Okay.
But everyone can do.
Everyone can be.
Everyone can do.
Okay.
If only the matches.
Okay.
The donor and then the recipient have a matching similarities. There are some factors to consider there.
But then immediate family, like mother, child, siblings, uncles,
they are all willing to do your. Those people are all willing to help you, isn't it? They don't want you to die because one kidney can survive. One kidney can make you survive.
Oh, so are we? We have 2 kidneys.
Yes.
And I just need one to survive.
Yes.
But doctor, why is it that it gets to a point where both? Okay, doctor, tell me, will I be able to know I'm functioning on just one?
I was trying to draw your mind there because it's important to know. Before we say you should go for organ transplant, it means that you have bilateral issues. Mostly.
So we have 2
kidneys.
One is functioning for us now.
They all function
at the same time. But can one live on
if
one?
If one is not functioning, one can compensate and work. You get it.
But effectively,
you live long.
Doc, I have a friend who lost his life and through kidney failure. I asked him what caused it, and he said he didn't know, but then from the few investigations from the doctors who were on him, checking up on him, they said his kidneys were weak even when he was born. His kidneys have not been working well ever since he was born.
How old was your friend?
He died at 29.
Okay, very pathetic. So why didn't they detect it early? Here comes. They don't do medical checkups in the country.
So we blame individuals for not doing medical
We blame the country itself.
It's expensive.
We are not planning for our health.
But doc, it's expensive.
It could have been cheaper, isn't it?
Yes.
But imagine if I can do certain screenings for free. I can go to villages and donate drugs for free with my hospital.
Doc, then before I end this marathon, you need to do free one here for me. For people coming in here.
I will do.
Thank you.
I'll do.
So people watching me, Doc is going to do a free health screening for those of you who be coming in here. Thank you. So let's continue.
Okay. So that's it. Importantly, we have to always look at the lives first. You see, it's health. It's paramount. So if politics should stay away from health, if I should have power to do that, I will do and go. I'm not a president, but if I can tell someone that they should put health as a paramount and it's not supposed to be related to any ministry or any politics, it will help. Why? Because the health of people dying, when you look at the cases of death, some of them, they are not supposed to.
People are not supposed to die like
that. And it's not the fault of the doctors. Because when you see one doctor or 2 doctors at an emergency against 50 doctors, 50 patients coming with ambulance, how will you cope? Unless you, so most people pop within 24 hours. And people have been dying of CVA, secondary to hypertension, and default in taking their medication. So especially like I was trying to explain, those people who have alarming high BP must see doctors regularly or get the BP apparatus. And when you see, you check it. When you check it and realize that no, my BP is not going down, accept it, and then see a specialist or a cardiologist or a doctor to place you on a drug and see. Because high blood pressure is one of the key factors that is causing.
Can it be cured?
High blood pressure
or managed?
Short-term regulation of blood pressure, that is your body physiologically does it. That is autonomic nervous system.
So you can't.
The long-term renin-angiotensin aldosterone system, which is causing the hypertension.
So it needs to be managed.
It has to be managed.
Hey, dog, but a lot of adverts on radio. This medicine can cure high blood pressure.
Can cure hypertension, can cure stroke, can cure all the diseases in the
It's not true.
Oh, no doubt. But they must prove to you as individuals, you patients, you must be educated enough. In UK, when you're giving a medication to a patient, why are you giving me this medication? Tell me why. I'm not taking antibiotic. No, my body is okay. Because they read more about it. But you go to a hospital, they open your vein, they start pumping drug inside. I've been watching patients. I want to ask them, why don't you ask nurses and doctors, what are you doing to me?
Doc, sometimes the response, so sometimes they'll tell you, hey, keep quiet, you came here, we are. Dog, it's not easy.
They have to explain to you what they are doing. It has to be explained. It's not like you are there and then they come in. So all these things are, we need more education. We need education. We have to. Patients, you must know your rights. Doctors are doing well in the country. I always praise my colleagues. Some of them, if you see where they sleep, you marvel. But still, they are enjoying the work, isn't it?
Yeah.
But the thing is that talking to him is about how you ask. Oh, doc, what happened? What is my diagnosis?
We should be able to ask.
Yes. What is? And they should explain to you.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
The doctor is supposed to explain to me.
He must.
In simple terms, yes, how I would understand.
Okay. All right. Mr. Emmanuel, I'm sorry for what happened last night. You were rushed to the emergency. Your BP was high and you couldn't respond well. And we monitored it for several hours. And then after giving you this medication, your BP dropped. And then you came back consciously. We monitored it for several hours here and realized that you have been diagnosed hypertension. And you didn't know. So you were suffering from CVA or transient ischemic attack. So we want to be giving you this medication, for the rest of your life. Please, will you accept it? You understand?
You need to ask as a doctor. You need to
ask. Yes, please.
Will you accept it?
Will you accept it? You go extend.
If the person says no.
If he said no, this medication, and when I take it, I cannot function well in bed. Please, doc, go and work on another one. I'm calling my doctor. I'm calling my doctor. You see, in your country, in my country as well, we all have lawyers.
Yeah.
But do we have doctors? Have you ever thought about that what's saving your life, you don't have it, but you prefer to be protected by law? Why? Do you want to do crime? If you are not a criminal, why do you look for a lawyer? So look for a doctor as well. These two people, they protect you. We all need each other, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's like a chain. Like I was talking about engineering. If you have engineering, dialysis machine would have been very cheap, and the cost would have been very,
No, we are going to zoom into addiction, and this time around, let me talk about this. I had a call from a doctor. The doctor said, "I'm an addict." I said, "Doctor, you are an addict." He says here, "I'm addicted to." I don't want for the purpose of this. I don't want to mention the name of the.
Oh, it's okay. It's confidential.
Yes, yes, and even the drug he mentioned,
sure,
so that someone will not go and take it. But he mentioned the name of the drug that I'm addicted to. This kind of medication. What is addiction, doctor?
Okay, so addiction addiction. Drug of abuse.
Is it spiritual or physical?
We have physical and psychological.
No, I mentioned spiritual.
So it's not spiritual.
I've heard people, oh, he's addicted. This one is spiritual. Yeah.
Because we have a lot of, churches in the country.
So addiction is not spiritual.
Addiction is not spiritual. In fact, a pastor or a reverend can diagnose, and I will not argue with him, because he sees something beyond what I cannot see.
Yeah.
But as a medical doctor, physically and psychologically is what I will talk about. Because the health is we define health, the complete state of what? Physical, mental and social well-being of a patient, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity.
Okay.
So you see that I'm defining, according to WHO, complete physical, mental, that is psychological, social. And the social part, we doctors, we talk about your lifestyle, social history. Do you drink alcohol? Do you smoke? So those are words. But spiritual, doctors don't define spiritual.
Can addiction be cured medically?
Yes, it can be cured
medically.
We can do it.
Okay, Doc, let's look at someone taking cocaine, who has become addicted to cocaine. Can it be cured medically?
Yes.
Cocaine is medicine. How do you solve one medical problem with another medicine?
Okay. So, first of all, is the person willing to give himself out?
Do you need the person's will?
Yes, and then you cannot just say that the person should just stop taking cocaine. So, it comes to a wide range of drugs which acts on the central nervous system.
Okay.
The central nervous system, those are the nerves that fire and also control the activities in the body.
Okay.
Modulates the body's activity and controls you, your movement, your speech, your intelligence, your memory. Everything is controlled by your brain. Any drug that attacks or divides into your brain must have effect on your body, one way or the other.
Okay.
Some may cause depression and some may cause euphoria or excitation. So some people, when they take some of these medications or some types of food, I say food or supplement because people also take, if you are talking about the drug that is abused in this world, we're talking about coffee, isn't it?
Yeah.
The caffeine or the coffee is what is widely abused. People are taking coffee every day because it contains caffeine. And this caffeine has good effects, and then people have increasing the sympathetic, so you have pleasure to work. People also smoke so that they also increase adrenaline, so they can also work. Are you getting what I mean? So they do this for a purpose. Some drugs like cocaine, as you're talking about, is also in the central nervous system. Anything that is taxed into the central nervous system cannot just be stopped abruptly. Okay. But then we can taper those downwards. If the person was taking 20 milligrams, you can maintain 20 milligrams for 2 weeks, come down to 18, and then you add detox. Some vitamins help removing these drugs, increasing nerve functioning, promoting muscles. These are works beyond the book. But it happens. People have been cured from taking addiction.
So when someone is addicted to cocaine, for instance, rehabilitation centers don't work well for them?
I think rehabilitation centers should be the place that they should do their work to cure. I don't think
it means that you need to monitor the person's intake.
Yes.
Let the person still continue taking that cocaine or crack cocaine, but then you reduce the dosage.
Cocaine is derived from a neurotransmitter called norepinephrine.
Okay.
Norepinephrine is a neurotransmitter released from the adrenergic nerves, which bind to beta 1 receptor and alpha 1 receptor, increasing the heart rate and then your blood pressure for you to be active.
Okay.
So people are taking this, and they are neurotransmitters produced in the body. So even if you want to take off cocaine, there are several drugs that are weaker and weaker and weaker to use it to wipe or to take off. But it will take time. It will take time because it will depend on the dose. It depends on how what the person is going through. You understand? Most times, most cocaine patients or people who die of cocaine, they die in the washroom.
Why?
They feel hot. The neurotransmitter norepinephrine, it works in a fashion, and then people begin to sweat, feel hot in their. We call it hyperthermia.
Okay.
And they usually go to the washroom. The body feel hot. So with this part of it is what made them crave.
The craving.
Craving, that is psychological demands.
So the cravings they get is psychological.
Physical and psychological.
Your mind thinks like you need a thing.
Physically, your body is very hot. You feel like
is that what we call cold turkey?
more terms for that. Yes, more terms. So they just have to. They don't have any choice because once you take the cocaine again, your body will be okay. You see that you come back to normal, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you mentioned a doctor taking medication.
Yeah.
They know the pharmacology of it. They know.
Because I understand there is this particular medicine that most health practitioners are addicted to.
Pethidine.
Yeah. Is it true?
Yes.
Most health practitioners, nurses, doctors.
They will never lie to you. No, if you interview hundreds of health workers, if some of them are not taking, most of them, I can defend my profession that most of them are not taking. But if you ask of most addicted, they will mention pethidine.
Doctors, nurses. What does it do for them?
Euphoria, feeling of good, some well-being, some type of energy to work, especially those who work hours, especially the surgeons, those who can stand from morning 7 and cut up to 8 p.m.
Cutting marathon.
Cutting marathon. So me, I'm not going there, brother. Yeah. So the point is that other countries may like to use cigarettes. That's the nicotine.
Okay.
So the Asia people, when you see Chinese and other people, you may but I think going with that one may be better than going with pethidine. Because pethidine is also expensive, and you'll be injecting at the site, causing a lot of damage.
But you see, a dog, I know this medication needs prescription. How are they able to get it?
It still come back to a question I don't want to talk about. Should I answer this, brother? The system in Ghana is not good. You can't. Every drug is counted everywhere, in every chemical shop, regulated.
Every medicine,
every number of medications produced by pharmaceutical companies are calculated from that end to all chemical shops and hospitals. So do you think that these dangerous drugs will not be regulated? But that doesn't mean the foreigners don't abuse. Anything is possible everywhere.
They do.
But if it comes to the regulation here, maybe there is much more room for improvement, so that people will not just abuse drugs, especially tramadol. How the order of the day, people are taking tramadol every day, and you see their lives. Some of them can no more work. They cannot do anything anymore. They have lost their mind. Why are we not regulating the prescription of tramadol?
Wow. So we need to regulate all of these, and get them counted.
Yes.
From the pharmacy
There might be follow-ups.
Doc, who is going to do that?
Oh, the Pharmaceutical Council is responsible for that. It's not like they are not doing it. They do their best. They see the country, the professionals, they are doing their best, but the politics, you see, like
there is politics everywhere.
But we've been appointed to be the head of pharmaceutical. Sorry to mention, pharmaceutical. I mean, whatever, by the government, and then honorable so and so need this medication. Do you really think a doctor has to prescribe this one? It goes directly to the honorable and then spread to the bodyguards. So I'm not saying that it's happening, but it may, because of the regulation, I mean, the way of, releasing the medication, we have to control.
It needs to be controlled.
And it has to be a program system whereby whenever you go to any pharmaceutical company or a pharmacy, your eye is scanned, your eyeball is scanned, and then your body, you are on the computer. So as you are talking, the pharmacists, they have seen your history. Your medical history is right in front of them. So why do you want to buy the medication? They won't give it to you.
Because this one health practitioner who I spoke to, who said he's a medical doctor, who told me he's addicted to this kind of medication. I asked him, so how are you able to buy? He says sometimes when I'm writing prescriptions for my patients, I can add it, even though I don't need it. Even though the patient doesn't need it, but then I add it. When it comes, I have a way of taking it. I'll not use it.
He's disgracing himself. Sorry to use that, but the point is that you, the doctor, who's supposed to, advise them not to take it, you are the one doing this around them. So they will also try to find out why doctor add this. You get it? They want to test it. But maybe if he could have used another means, which is not, related to the patients, because we've all sworn the hypocrisy oath that the health of our patients will be our first priority. So when doing something that will cause, discomfort to your patient.
Yeah. So he added to the prescription list. They go and buy it, and then he takes it out. He goes to do it somewhere.
Of course, no, he can do it. He can do it anyway. A doctor can inject himself. They know the site of injection, so they don't need someone to help them do it. That is why they can abuse, because they know where to. You are scared of injecting, because if you do a wrong thing, but they can do.
Yeah.
But doctors usually they are not fan of it. They know the complications.
Okay.
So if they are doing it, they know they are on point. They know what they are doing. Even though some of them are also under drug abuse.
Doc, we will move to our last topic I want to discuss with you. I want us to look at orthodox medicine and herbal. Is there any similarities in it? Is the herbal powerful than what you do?
What is orthodox medicine in your perception?
So let's say foreign drugs. Herbal can be our traditional medicine, like the herbs, bark of trees and all those.
So you want to talk about Western medicine?
Yes, Western.
You know why I say Western? They brought everything. That's why me and you, we are speaking English here now. You get it? So Western medicines and traditional medicines. These are two good medications. Okay,
let me tell you the reason why I'm asking you this question. People are saying, you doctors, you are always condemning herbal medicine.
Okay.
Yes, that is why I'm asking you.
All right. So I did a little bit of pharmacy. Because I'm in the medical field now, let me say I know more about pharmacy and pharmacology. We take the plant, macerate. When I say maceration, we are extracting medicaments from the plant using a method called chromatography. I hope you have heard about this.
Yeah.
Chemistry.
Yeah.
So that we extract every chemical in the leaf. So you'll be able to extract acetaminophen, which is para.
Okay.
We can extract and form another medication. Let's say aspirin is the prototype of almost all the painkillers. So we look at aspirin from where we extracted it and then manufacture. So we know that herb, from the etiology of medicine, was from plants and animal sources.
Okay.
So when your sheep was in pain and you saw the sheep taking a particular leaf, the pain subsided. So you decided to check it up.
Okay.
And you applied on the dog and it worked. They didn't die. So you decided to also, when you had the pain, you got that leaves, you boil them and they work on you. You get it?
Yeah.
So it's perfect. It's a perfect and clever way of you being able to get the means of treating pain. But then let's say that we've been able to now know what is inside the leaf that can reduce the pain. We've been able to extract that. Do you need to still go and take the leaf again?
No.
Yes, you don't need it, because there are 10 chemicals in that leaf. Even though it was able to treat the pain, but you had a severe diarrhea or so inti na bibi wo.
Okay.
Inti the Western medicine, what I'm saying is, now our medicine, they've been able to extract the medicaments and then they are specific, on point, to bind to some certain receptors and stop some conditions in your body. So we don't condemn the herbal medicine. Some herbs, they contain only some few natural products which are good, like tea. You get it, tea leaves. But it's not advisable to take a plant that you don't know what's inside.
Because here in Africa, Ghana, people, my mother taught me this leaf, that when you have this headache, get 3 of them, you get your ginger, you boil, you get 1 glass, and you are good to go.
That's sharp. Because your mother did it and lived over 120 years.
Yes.
So you are very specific about it.
Just that you doctors don't entertain those things.
Because we don't want our patient to have complications and come back. I've seen scenarios of people coming in after being deceived by herbal medicine. But like I said, Food and Drug Board they approved some medications, herbal medications, which doctors are using. We are prescribing, adding it to
now you are doing that.
We have a lot of them in the some hospitals like Lekma, they have Chinese section. They have we have some homeopathic hospitals which have been approved by the government. So doctors don't reject those. But it comes in when you see a bottle, a full glass of whatever, like 20 of them for someone to drink. You get what I mean? You don't understand what is inside.
And sometimes it begins to go bad at some point. They will tell, you just put it on fire for some time. And
so the main reason why medical doctors are not happy with most of these herbs, like you give your liver a lot of issues. Liver is producing too many enzymes at the same time.
Does it affect your organs?
It can affect the liver if you take a herb that you don't know its function.
Because there should be dosage too.
It should be dosage. Even some of them are giving dosage, but those ones that it must be regulated by the Food and Drug Association.
Okay.
It shouldn't be like you just take it and you don't know what it is.
Doc, what is self-medication? What is that? Self-medication?
Taking medication without a doctor's prescription.
But I went to the hospital. I had headache. I was feeling cold, and I met Dr. Henry. He said, I did some tests, and doctor wrote this one. And 6 months time, I'm having the same feeling. Doc, I go to buy the medicine, because when I come to you, give me the same medicine. So why are you saying it's self-medication?
Okay, so we are not against it, but you have headache, you have bitterness in your mouth, abdominal pain, and chills. We have differential diagnosis. When I say differential diagnosis, different types of conditions that can cause that. So in our differential diagnosis, we diagnose malaria, enteric fever. Maybe we added some other conditions to it like UTI or gastroenteritis. So you go to the lab, then one of them tested positive. Let's say malaria. So we give you anti-malaria medication. So after 6 months, you felt the same thing, but it was typhoid. So you went for the same medication that the doctor prescribed for you.
Yeah, I'm having the same symptoms.
It didn't work for you because you didn't go there to look for the cause, the main diagnosis.
Okay.
Yes.
Because doc, sometimes it works. So.
Yes, it works.
I know when I came, you gave me this, that for okay. So I buy again and it works. Then doctors will come and back and tell you this is self-medication. You are supposed to come because when it comes to treatment or when it comes to symptoms of various sickness and diseases, some of the symptoms are similar. Is that the case?
Yes. So docs, we don't object it, but like I said, what is the problem of having your personal doctor? Doc, this is what is happening. Please, can you help me? Sometimes some minor things can be done on phone with your doctor.
Okay.
It's not like every time you should come to the hospital and pay consultation fee.
Okay.
So people are avoiding consultation because they don't even have money to pay their.
Yeah.
So what I can say is, if we can introduce free consultation at some point.
Okay.
Free consultation at some point. So
okay. That people can feel free.
Free consultation.
Wow.
Yes, doctors are available so that you can just help you get your medication.
And you'll be fine.
It's not every condition that you have to pay consultation.
Doc, here in Ghana, is it expensive to visit the hospital? Is it expensive? Because talking about self-medication, a lot of people do this because they feel it's expensive. You've been to a lot of countries. Doc, is it expensive here?
The difference is like people have, protocols of treatment in other countries. Like I have some UK friends. They say, "Oh, when I go to UK, everything is free. Why should I buy it in Ghana?" You get it? So it means they have policies there, even though it's being deducted from their salaries, which is helping them to treat their condition. They don't see.
Yeah.
But in Ghana, you have to use the little you have to go and buy medication, and that wouldn't help you. After buying medication, there is no food to eat. So I'm also, in favor of the patients in that way. If you have a policy that will help, even though we introduce the national health insurance, how does it work? Does it work well? So
sometimes
it works.
Yeah, sometimes it works very effective, but sometimes too. So you think there should be more intervention?
Yeah,
from government?
They should register the national health insurance.
And because sometimes service providers are also not happy about
the insurance.
No, yes, some hospitals and health facilities, they end up saying when we accept these cards and it's time for government to pay us back, it becomes a problem. So some people reject the card and tell you, okay, your card can take care of this A, B, C, D. This one you have to pay for these services.
One is 4 Ghana cedis, one is 220. The 220 is not covered by national health insurance.
Okay.
The 4 Ghana cedis is covered, but the 220 is better, but they work in the same fashion. So they give you the 4 Ghana cedis. I'm not saying that they are doing the wrong thing. That's what you can afford. And they don't want to invest 220 Ghana cedis into a lot of people, and you take about 8 months before they claim their money. And that money will even come like 3 months money. 5 months will be outstanding. So
okay, Doc, there is this question I wanted to ask, but it escaped me. About, we were talking about working on a patient and you need to do something urgently, that you had to consult someone. Doc, in situation where someone is rushed to your hospital by the best as a whole stranger to your hospital. The person needs blood transfusion urgently. The stranger who brought the person left. You are trying to save the situation. Would you go ahead to do that?
Yes, you have to. Even if you to the extent that if your boss will fire, you have to do as a doctor. Saving life is a pleasure.
Doc, is it done here in Ghana? Like,
if it's me, I'll do.
Because, Doc, we've seen situations.
I can do that.
We've seen situations where you take someone to the hospital. They will tell you, go for card and come. Go for card. Go and take the card and
come. So
there
should be emergency protocols. The patient comes in dying. Of course, the person even left and the patient is unconscious. You call for help, ABC. D, if D is important, add. Save life first. The patient is able to talk and the patient is rich. You can get your money back. If the patient is not rich, God will bless you. Yes.
So you don't agree with those who do that?
Like, yes, I believe in giving.
Okay.
You give and take. It will help. When you give, getting it comes in from God. Maybe from another helper.
Okay, doctor, thank you so much for joining me.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and